One once said, called us postage stamps in these video calls. It's nice to know the names and where the postage stamps are from. So
I guess I'll go first.
yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I can go first too. Presenting. I'm Lori Beth Everts. I am the outreach coordinator for the College of Engineering here at Bozeman. And I'm also the program delivery partner for First Lego League. And tonight, I just wanted to give an overview of what First Lego League is and kind of where it fits into all the FIRST programs in Montana. And so, yeah, that's what we'll be doing tonight. But why don't we do some introductions? And I'm just going to call on names as they appear in my presenter or participant list. And I'm sorry if I mispronounce. But Alfreda, alphabetically, you are first. So go ahead. And if you're joining in on the call, if you wouldn't mind saying your name, if you're an existing coach or interested parent, or how you're involved. We have some board members here as well. So go ahead, Alfreda.
Okay. My name is Alfreda Jefferson. I teach at Pretty Eagle Catholic School in St. Xavier, Montana. I teach first grade. Did I say that already? But but I also help with robotics. Last year was my first year in helping in robotics, and it was very exciting. And the coach was, I don't know if everyone knows her. Her name is Darcilla Plainbull, and I was her assistant coach. And this year she's leaving. She's going to another school, and she kind of put it onto me to continue. And I'm having a lot of support with Lori and is it Jordan?
Yep.
Yeah. And I know I can do it, and I'm excited. I'm glad that they're there for support. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for joining us tonight. Dan, you're next on my list.
Okay, I'm Dan Jankowski. I'm one of the MTRA board members. I coach FTC programs here in Helena, and I'm an FLL coach from way back, and also mentor FLL teams, and also currently am the streaming coordinator for the FLL programs. So lots of hats.
Lots of hats. Thank you. And Danielle, I think you might have hopped on. We're just saying who we are and how you're related, whether it's you're already involved in the program or just have an interest. So if you wouldn't mind sharing. You might still be getting set up.
Were you talking to me?
No, I was talking to Danielle. But, we'll jump over, and Gray Moose, will you reveal your real name to us?
Hi everyone, my name is Gray Moose. Scott Thompson. I work for Zoot Enterprises in the Gallatin Valley area, so Bozeman, Belgrade area. I'm the Director of Organizational Learning and Development, and our organization sponsors a couple of teams for FLL. So they've been sponsoring for, I want to say, about 6 or 7 years. I've done 6 years of coaching myself, 3 years at the challenge level, and 3 years at the explore level. It was when my daughter had interest, and then she lost interest. And I said, well, I'm continuing on. I don't care what you're doing. I'm moving to the next level. And so she dropped out when it was that time. So it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Christina, I'm going to jump back up to you so we don't forget you in the list.
Hi, I am Christina Crane, and we ran into a booth of your guys' at the Big Sky Fair. And my son was curious. He's 9, and he has some friends who I think would also be very interested. We're in Bozeman, and I heard there was no club yet in Bozeman, is my understanding. And so they were interested in maybe seeing if there would be one.
Okay. Yeah, we have a few teams in Bozeman, but we have a lot of interest. So we're hoping that we can maybe develop a few more teams. So
Great.
okay. We will Danielle, are you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Much like Christina, same. I have a 9-year-old son. We saw the booth at the Big Sky Fair and just kind of interested. Never heard about it before, but definitely have a son that's very into STEAM, STEM, Lego, that whole thing.
Okay. Thank you very much. We had Ed hop on to the meeting. Ed is the president of our board. Ed, are you able to join us and do a quick introduction? He might still be getting situated. We'll jump ahead to, oh, nope, here he is. I see he unmuted.
I unmuted. Yeah, I had a problem with my computer. I'm not very good at computers. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Glad that you're all here, and I'm very interested in hearing this presentation.
Thanks for joining us this evening. I have next on the list, I have Illuminate Counseling. It looks like we have 2 of you joining us.
Yeah, I'm Sarah Webb, and this is Jameson. Jameson's 12 and has had interest, but we kind of missed the opportunity to join a team last year. And so we were hoping to maybe do something this year, and we too are in Bozeman.
Okay, thank you. Jacqueline? Just double checking. We need you unmuted if you are there. I always forget to unmute myself. Okay, we'll give Jacqueline some more time to get situated. Jordan, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'd love to. Hi, I'm Jordan Kapp. I am a teacher in Missoula at a school called Hellgate Elementary. I'm also sit on the Montana Robotics Alliance board, and therefore I also coach First Lego League, and I have quite a few teams. So I'm here to provide support and hope that we could get teams started for you all. So
thank you. Kay Wu, did I say that correctly?
Close. Kind of a KUH sound.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Hey, everybody. I am here in Missoula, and I am new to this community. Looking forward to learning how to become a coach for this club.
Thanks for joining. Kepler.
Hi. Kepler, I'm Erin. We're parents at Jeanette Rankin Elementary in Missoula. Ka is actually going to be one of our coaches. So we are launching the first program at Jeanette Rankin this year.
Awesome.
Board put together, and Jordan has been advising us, and we're excited. We're hopefully going to launch 2 teams this year and then see how it goes from there.
Great. Thank you for joining. Okay, Rob.
There we go. Hi, I'm Rob Reynolds. I live in Eureka, and I'm a coach up here. I've been a coach for about 15 years or so, both FLL and now FTC coach. I am also on the MTRA, the Montana Robotics Alliance board, as the board chairman, kind of helping keep meetings organized. and I'm here to support other teams who are getting started. So glad to see so many people jumping on tonight.
Thank you. Terrace.
Hello, I'm a parent. I have a 5-year-old who's really interested in robotics, so I wanted to learn more about this program and possibly learn about coaching as I'm a computer science major. I also happen to work for Zoot with Scott. So I just wanted to get a lot of information. I understand that we don't really have a younger group, but if I could like coach and include my son, I think you would love it.
Great. And I'm going to circle back up to the top. I believe Amy has joined us. Amy, if you can just tell us a little bit about how you're involved with FLL. Oh, you're muted.
Let me unmute.
And also, Amy's going to be on our coach panel. So,
yeah, so I am a parent and a coach. Been involved for about 8 years. And coach, I work for Wise Wonders, and we have 4 teams currently in all but one age group. So,
okay, great. Thank you. And then I believe Carmen is also jumped on.
Been a while. Hi, I'm just a mom in Bozeman, and we were at the fair, and it looked cool. So I have a 10-year-old son that's into Legos and building things. So just here to see what's going on.
Great, welcome. And Danielle, I'm going to circle back around. Are you still with us?
I'm here.
Hi.
I already introduced myself, but I can go again if you want.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking you were muted and we missed you. Okay, is there anyone else that I missed or anyone that wants to share again? Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started here on the presentation. All right, everyone see the slides there?
Yep, look clear.
Okay. Thanks for joining this evening. We're just going to cover what is FIRST and specifically FLL or First Lego League, discuss the season timeline, what's involved with coaching and mentoring, along with a panel with some of our existing coaches, and answer any questions you might have. So FIRST program is through ages 4 up to 18. And in Montana, we have the largest number of First Lego League Challenge teams. So that's ages 9 through 16. There's about 70 in Montana. And then we have around 20 to 30 First Tech Challenge and we have 2 First Robotics competition teams. And they vary in their complexity and of building the robot, but they're all revolve around team competition and building, designing a robot. So First Lego League, there are different age groups for it. The one that is the largest in Montana is this challenge for 4th through 8th grade. That's where we have about the 70 teams. And then the Explore is for 2nd through 4th grades. And we host a showcase for that. So this participants design a project and present that to the judges at the showcase. And that's held in Bozeman during the Challenge Championship. And then the Discover is a discovery, getting them familiar with the design process and playing with Duplo blocks of Legos. So we are most active here in Montana with the FLL Explore and FLL Challenge. And so I'm going to really dive into the details of challenge tonight. And if anyone else wants to touch base on the other ones when we get into the panel or has questions, feel free to reach out about those. So FLL Challenge has a qualifier because there are so many teams in the state. The qualifier is in January in 3 different locations. We have one in Helena, Billings, and Missoula. And then we take about half of the teams from each qualifier advance to the championship, where the teams then compete to go on to Worlds, which are hosted in Texas. And throughout the season, the teams are working on 4 different aspects. So the aspects, if we look at the pie chart here, is the innovation project, the robot design, the robot game, and the core values. And so they have their team missions, and they are building the robot with the Legos, which everyone is very excited about. But it's also incorporated in this the innovation project as well, where they take a real world problem and try to create a solution for it. And through all that, the team works on their core values. So that's teamwork, including others and having fun, discovering new things and skill sets, the impact they have on the world. So with their innovation project, what changes are they going to make on the world, and also that innovation for it. And through that, both their project and the robot design, they are using the engineering process. So it's an iterative process, right? They identify a problem, create a design, see what works, what doesn't, make changes, and try again as needed. So that the timeline for our season is in August is a season reveal. So that's now, actually today, they just revealed the season of it's dive in or ocean themed for this year. And then in December, teams need to be registered both at a national level with the organization of FIRST and also the registration for the qualifying tournaments. The qualifying tournaments are in January, usually that 3rd week of January. And then the championship tournament for those that advance are in February. What I didn't include on the timeline, I should have, there's one team that then advances to Worlds, and that's typically in April. So what does it look like to be a coach or a mentor? It can be anyone. You could be a FIRST alumni. You could be a parent. It could be a community member. You've heard in our introductions, we have some professionals, some teachers, some parents. We also have teams that are coached by college students from MSU or just friends and family. And there's resources for the coaches. And can you see me and the screen? Probably not. So when I quit sharing, I have examples of some of the materials they share with the coaches. They make it, I won't say easy, but they try to make it straightforward for you. They have a team meeting guide that you can follow, and then notebooks for the students, engineering notebooks for them to write down what they tried, different approaches they've made to solving their problem. So really, you are more of a manager of the team. You're not necessarily teaching them the skills. They learn those skills throughout the materials in the season. And I believe some of the coaches will touch on that. So I am just the one that organizes the events and helps bring everyone together. I thought it would be best if you guys heard from our coaches specifically. So we met Jordan, Scott, and Amy at the beginning. They're from across the state, but I'm going to let them share a little bit more about how many teams they have, how long they've been coaching, and just some of the tips they have for managing their team throughout the year, like how many times they meet, if it's every week or once a month, just to give you guys an idea. So I'm going to go ahead and quit sharing my screen so that we can see everyone again. And we'll just go in order of the slides. So Jordan, you can go ahead and share first.
Okay. Well, as I said in the introduction, I'm Jordan. I'm based out of Missoula. When I took over our robotics program at the school, we had 4 teams. And since then, it's like completely exploded. As you guys, parents out there know, kids love Legos. So now I'm a coach of 11 teams at Hellgate. And I believe this is my 9th year doing this. So at Hellgate, I run it as an after-school program. And we meet just one time a week. And then students who feel like they need more time take home materials with their team and work outside of our designated practices. So one way I organize all of our teams, because obviously I can't be there for 100 kids at the same time, is we do have volunteers on each team. I actually have parent volunteers. I call them my parent mentor coaches. And I really want to reiterate that you do not have to be an expert programmer or have all of this background knowledge in order to successfully run a team. I had no idea what I was doing. I honestly offered to help, and the teacher who was doing the program was like, no, I'm quitting. Here you go. And anybody can do it. You're really there to facilitate and guide and inspire the students and make sure that they're getting along and helping them through the process. But you would be absolutely blown away by what the kids are capable of doing. So, and you have a whole bunch of support, especially with Montana Robotics Alliance Board and helping you out throughout the season, because it can be a lot of information. And I'll be honest, it's a little overwhelming at first. So, yeah.
Thanks, Jordan. Scott, you want to share about your team?
Unmute. Okay, good. Yeah, hi, everybody. So again, my name is Scott Thompson, and I work at Zoot Enterprises, located in Four Corners, so just outside of the Bozeman-Belgrade area. We've been hosting teams for, like I say, about 7 or 8 years now. I got involved with it. So my background is in corporate training. So we've got a lot of teachers, but I kind of took a different venue with that. And so I do the corporate training. And so, yeah, I do not have a degree in computer science. I mean, certainly I've, taken a liking to certain aspects of it and taken advantage of my own abilities where possible. And then the organization that I work for, Zoot Enterprises, decided that they were going to start sponsoring some teams. And so I came back to my daughter and I said, hey, is this something that you'd be interested in? She said, yeah, absolutely. As long as you're there. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm getting pulled in. But let's see, Legos, robots, yeah, kicking and screaming. Yeah, I was just, anyway. So I started off with the Explorer level, that middle level. And so we were working through that. And then the other team, we had 2 teams that were competing at the challenge level. And I was working with the Explorer level with my daughter. And we did we had a lot of fun with it. I felt like we did a really good job. One approach that I specifically was trying to take was to make sure that I was helping to prepare the students for the next level. So where, I honestly, I see a lot of different teams where they just, they have a motorized component. And I'm like, well, no, let's look how we can take that to the next level insofar as what is that motorized component doing? And so this was the moon year, I think. And so we had it specifically going forward and using a sensor to stop and then come back. And so that way they already had a little bit of the understanding of what would it take to be successful at the challenge level. And so hopefully that helped at that point. We have 2 teams that we have been sponsoring. They are challenge level teams. We put out the call for interest last year, and we didn't have enough interest for the lower level, the Explorer level. But Tara, it's good to see you. glad to see you that you're interested. And so, yeah, we'll have to talk a little bit later with regards to that. Because I think it would be good to be able to bring the Explore level back in for what we are offering. As far as our frequency, we meet on a weekly basis. It is after hours. So we meet at Zoot from 5:30 to 7. So for about an hour and a half on Thursday nights it is. But our first year, we decided that, you know what, we wanted a little bit more of an intensive time. So I actually went to our sponsor, the owner of Zoot Enterprises, and I said, hey, would you mind if we were to borrow the space for a full day on like a Saturday right before a given competition? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. He's all for it. His approach is that the more programmers we can get built up in the Gallatin Valley, then the more programmers that are available to come work for us in the next few years afterwards. So, but those full day intensives have really been very valuable to us because with the hour and a half, it's that they get started, they make a little bit of progress, and okay, it's time, we're done for the day. And so for those full day intensives, it's just, the one time right before a given competition, I bring in food for them, and it's however much time they're willing to put in. And I've had a lot of students where they're like, no, we're here for the full day. I'm like, okay, then let's go. And so that's really made a big difference in that regard. So just a little tidbit that I'd like to put out there. Let's see, what else? I like long walks on the beach. What else were you looking for?
I think that covers it.
Okay.
I think probably some of the Bozeman parents will be curious to know if you're accepting any new participants this year. Are your teams full?
Yeah, that's a great question. So again, we have the two teams. We have been kind of keeping them a little bit on the low end insofar as the student to coach ratio. We have myself and another coach. We have a new coach that's going to be starting up this year. And interestingly enough, we had a student who graduated out of the challenge level, and rather than moving on to the next level, she wanted to come help coach us. And I was like, sure, come on over. So last year, that was a really interesting dynamic that helped out with that. So just go back to answering your question. We may be able to support additional team members for the year. I actually sent an email out just earlier today, say, to our team members, and I said, hey, here's the announcements, and go check out the videos that they just posted out today. And so I'm hoping to be able to hear back, and if I've got any openings, obviously I can turn around and make those openings available. I can also talk to our sponsor, our financial sponsor, who basically covers everything. It's like, wow, that's great. And so to see if he'd be willing to bring us to 3 teams, since we do technically have 3.5 coaches that are available. So yeah, I'm finding out more information about that, and but feel free to reach out to me. I can provide contact information in a later point, and we can find out what we can do for you.
Great, thank you. We'll hand it over to Amy to share about her teams over in Billings.
Yeah. So very similarly, I was dragged kicking and screaming into the world of Lego robotics. My oldest daughter started in one of the middle schools here, and this was, oh God, she's 18 now, so it was however many years ago that was. And it was a lot of boys, a lot of dads helping. She had an amazing science teacher that was a woman and was just amazing and kind of ran it, but lots of dads helping. And so she went and she did her thing, and have lots of other kids. And she was like, Mom, I haven't gotten to touch the robot. And I was like, oof. It's like, Mom, they want me to just make the poster. And I was like, oof. And so she was like, Mom, you have to come. So I came, and we kind of struggled through that year. And then she was like, no, Mom, you have to help. Right. So same as Jordan there. I was like, okay, so like, how can I help? And the teacher was like, you take it. Like, just go. God bless. So we did that. And so she actually was aging out at the end of that year. She aged out. And there wasn't, I still don't think there is, another Billings FTC, which is like the 14 to 18-year-old age. And she was like, Mom, please, please, please. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? And so our team actually started her 8th grade year in our basement, sponsored by MasterCard Mom. So you can do it. I knew nothing. I was running a preschool in my house, you know, taking care of my littler kids. And here we were running a robot team. So that was interesting. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, they are so smart. They figure it out. They ran like the wind. And I mean, they held their own. They did pretty good. They still do pretty good. So I've been involved, I've been involved probably about 9 years now, coaching for, let's call it 7. I feel comfortable with 7. So then I had all these preschool kids too, right? So then COVID hit and I'm running a robot still out of my basement and have COVID, but you know, everybody's locked down, but I still run a preschool. So we started an Explore team because what else do you do, right? That's what you do. So start an Explore team with all those kids. Really, really liked Explore. Actually, I think it was discovered the very first year. So it was like that 2 to 4. Probably it's supposed to be 4 to 5. I think mine was like 2 to 4 year olds. But you know, whatever. Super fun. So then I got on at Wise Wonders. I am the manager of Wise Wonders, which is the children's museum here. And I was like, so, you know, with me comes these Lego teams. And they were like, yeah, do it. And so then we added back the challenge team for Lego League. And so we run 2 teams, although we bought a 3rd robot for camp. So I'm thinking we might have a 3rd challenge team. We recently moved our FTC, so our older kids, into their own location. And so they meet throughout the year. They meet about an hour and a half once a week. Once the season drops and they start, they'll meet, you know, probably an hour and a half twice. So we also do a similar intensive. We do Build a Bot Day. So the day that it drops, they get the majority of their work done. We do like as long as you can tolerate each other because they're like 14. So that's fun. Last year, I think they made it about 6 hours. And then I was like, okay, you're leaving because I'm going to kill you. My daughter graduated out. So last year was her last year. And so now she actually has taken over the leadership of that team for the most part, trying to push some of my responsibilities. Really, it's like keeping kids on track and buying snacks and making sure no one's bleeding. Like those are like the big things at that level. Because they're seeking help from, you know, people way smarter than us or than me, right? So they're seeking outside help and been really good. You know, the community really wants to be involved. And so connecting them with community people that can help them with whatever it is that they are struggling with, like that's like the key, right? Like I don't code, I don't know, but let me help you find someone. And so if you can do that and you can buy snacks and Band-Aids, then you're pretty good for that age group. Our next age group down, we met once a week for an hour. All of my kids tend to be on the younger side. So, you know, to kind of meet our demographic at the museum, we have to do like 5 to 8 year olds for our Explore team, which is younger for most, you know, most second graders are not 5. But it just meets our demographic well, and it keeps me from having to run all 4 age divisions. And so they're kind of young. They meet like for 45 minutes because that's all you're going to get them. The other ones meet for about an hour. They're on the younger side, so they're not super competitive when it comes to qualifier. So parents were like, well, you know, we want to be more competitive and, you know, hold our own with some of the older teams at qualifier. And so I'm going to be having a very similar conversation with my parents here in another week or so. Like, okay, if that's really what you guys want to do, then I'm going to have commitment because it does take more than one person. So I guess that's us. I love, you should all start like 5 to 8 year olds, like do that age group. They are so stinking cute and funny and so much smarter than you ever think that they could be. Like it's totally worth it. Do it. Plus, like I think last year mine was the only team in state. I think we were the only team And so, yeah, they would really like to like show off to other children. So I need you guys. Come on. Do it.
Thank you for sharing. Do you guys have any questions for the coaches or me at this point? Yes, Danielle.
I am located in Bozeman, so similar. I had no idea this existed in Bozeman, and I have to be completely honest. I find myself having a really hard time navigating the website to find like team information. How do we figure out where this zoo team is? All that stuff.
Yes. So part of it is a privacy thing. We don't share team like contact information unless they explicitly give permission. And usually that's I will connect a family with the coach if they have said, yes, we have room on our team. We're happy to take on more people. And so that's the side of finding a team. But it is the website, the first website and the registration process is somewhat cumbersome. And so that's where the board, MTRA board, and veteran coaches come in, where we can help walk you through that process so that you don't bang your head into your computer and get that going. And then once you're signed up, you get the information. Like this was what I was talking about, the team meeting guide and engineering notebook. This is for the young group Discover, but it tells you like what to do at each meeting, suggestions, and talking about the design in the season. So that's once you get the physical copies and everything, that's helpful. And there is talk of another team starting through the Montana Science Center. And so I have all of your guys' contact information based on that contact form. And so when there's an opportunity to join a team, I will be sharing that with the Bozeman area people.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You bet. Any other questions? One thing we didn't jump into the details of like if you do want to start your own team, the costs and everything. But I'm just going to drop the website for Montana State First Lego League in the chat because that shows the breakdown of the costs and the timeline. I'm having, oh, there it is. I can't find the button while I'm talking. There we go. And then the last thing, if we don't have any other questions, is I was going to share the season challenge with everyone. So it shows the Legos that will be used and what the missions that the kids have to design their robot to complete. So stick around. It's about 7 minutes or longer, about 7.5 minutes. So if you have to go, I understand, but it's a pretty cute video and we can answer more questions after. So
I really like the video. It really shows the program off well. And
yeah.
I think that it's a great way for kids to get exposed to a lot of different things, working with tools, working together, solving problems together. So it's a very, very good thing to learn, especially at a young age, because it's all about negotiation, as we well know, and working together to get big, really complex things done. So, you know.
Yeah. And one thing I didn't touch on that I think is really encouraging is that one of the core values is called gracious professionalism. That was a term coined by one of the first veterans. But essentially, like, we want to lift each other up. We cheer on the other groups. If there is a team that maybe forgot a piece at home or they happen to drop something and it broke, they can announce to the other teams. And one coach was sharing their experience. Well, Jordan, I should just let you share at Worlds. I'll let you tell the story better than me.
Well, so the robotics competitions are unlike any competition you've ever been to. I know that all of us are familiar with sporting events, and you really just can't compare robotics competitions to sporting events because the atmosphere is so supportive and just, yeah, we lift each other up, we cheer each other on. One of my teams qualified for Worlds a few years ago, and we got to go down. And I'm pretty sure as a teacher, I cried every single day watching my kids interact with kids from Italy and Venezuela. But they like in terms of support, like, yeah, over the intercom, it would be like, oh, this team lost this part, and you would watch. It almost seemed like other teams would be tackling each other out of the way to go and help that team out. And it was like, oh my goodness, like you just don't run into this. Like normally it's, hey, you're my competitor and I'm gonna beat you, and I'm not going to support you. But that's just not how robotics competitions are, and it's really, really cool. So
Yeah, and if I want to add to that is that as you get advanced, the challenges get harder and with more maturity and more knowledge. And also when you have the competitions, you could be on the same, there are two teams. In FTC, there are two teams that are on the blue side and two teams on the red side. And there's each team has 5 matches, and in this first match they could be together, and the second match they could be against each other with different teams. So it's this idea of sharing and helping each other. It's really good because the kids learn. They're not kids; the kiddos learn very quickly that that's another thing that I should learn to do. It's not just about, yeah, I want to be number one. It's we want to be number one, and we want to help people as we get along. So I think that this program is great. If I'll be doing it until I'm in a box or in the ground, whatever you want to say. So yeah, it's great.
All right, thank you. I am going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll show the reveal for the missions this year. Oh, I'll send the link for it as well if you have to take off.